So backstage with Dr. Bettina Palazzo, who's just come off the ECEC 2022 stage, and we're here to talk a little bit about her and some of the things that she does for work. So Bettina, you've been working in the field of ethics for a long time. What drives you to work in that space?
Yeah, well, it's been really forever, but I've never wanted to leave because I just have so much fun and I learn so much. And what drives me is that early on, when I did first working experience, I noticed that there's so much suffering at work. And I think it's so useless and it shouldn't be that way. So my why is actually I want to help create workplaces where work is fun and meaningful and not dreadful and depressing. Yeah.
And you're really good at looking at the sort of the human aspect of this, right? And really thinking about the practice of it rather than the theory. Why is it that it's so difficult for organizations to be ethical?
Yeah, that's a really big question, and I do admit sometimes I get a little bit frustrated after all these years because I also have a strong foundation in theory, and so in management science we know all the things that are not good for ethics, like bonuses. You're a banking expert, so you know a thing or two about how difficult it is to persuade bankers that these bonuses are really not a good idea. We know this. There's the science behind it. Yeah, so it's difficult because of there's a lack of awareness and a lack of courage because we know certain things. Well, incentives can work wonderfully, but if you dare to do it differently, there are all kinds of fears.
And I mean, one of the challenges is when we look at ethics, we think about it as a theory, but it's individuals doing things or not doing things. Mm-hmm. What's your advice to people as they think about their own ethical behavior?
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, you can do a lot on the personal level and stay self-critical and ask you some critical questions, but this only gets you this far. I think we need, at the current state of business ethics, we need to concentrate more on the context. Because you can be the most heroic and ethical person in the world if you are in a context and you want to survive and keep your job and thrive. You can only go so far. So I think at the moment it's less a me problem than a we problem that we need to tackle.
Are things getting better or are they getting worse?
Oh, things are getting more complicated. No, I mean, when I started my career in business ethics consulting in the 90s, I mean, I had to start from scratch, but it was also very important for me to be able to explain ethics to an accountant. But so we are much more advanced here now. If I now say that I'm working in business ethics, people find it interesting and they don't laugh at me anymore. So that's progress to me.
Fantastic. Well, nobody's been laughing at you with your presentation at ECEC. Speaking of which, this is your first time here. How have you found ECEC 2022?
Yeah, I was already very excited to come because I watched it online last year. I saw your great presentation last year and I like the purple color of the lights, and I think I'm a Bavarian woman and I studied in Munich, so every excuse to come to Munich is fine for me.
Fantastic. Well, look, it's been an amazing homecoming for you, so thank you so much, Bettina, for sparing us your time at ECEC 2022. Thank you.
Thank you.